Pay attention. Creepy weirdo.
I would like a strong, powerful woman to protect me.
He'll fight for America.
Yep. Poopy square.
The Playable Characters Podcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Playable Characters Podcast. 2 P's for professional, everybody.
One
That's what
C
we are.
for kind of okay. No, what's the C word?
What's the C word?
Charming.
Charming.
Charmingly great.
Yeah, this is
not like we
amazing.
haven't done this 2 times before. All
Yeah,
right.
And we did not just spend 30 minutes trying to get the recording stuff working. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. This is episode 40, you guys. 40 straight weeks we've been doing this. This is amazing.
Never thought we'd make it this far. Michael Jordan bet me that we wouldn't make it this far because he loves to bet on anything.
He's haven't done anything for 40 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Besides gamble, probably.
I can hear anything.
A lot of sports fans on the podcast. So, yeah, I think we're okay. We have some technical difficulties. It may just be me talking to you guys for 40 minutes. Who knows? We're going to dive in. Oh, by the way, hey, if you like the podcast, subscribe, like, tweet, rate, all that good stuff. iTunes, Stitcher,
Please visit us on
Podbean.
Twitter, Playable Podcast, PlayableCharactersPodcast.com, all that good stuff.
All those fun things. So,
Also on Facebook.
yes.
On YouTube, I think we're on YouTube.
We're on
too,
YouTube,
right?
kind
We're
of.
on YouTube.
Hey, this guest is pretty amazing, I have to say. Very different from a guest we've had in the past. We're just going to dive right into this thing. This is, if you guys have played The Witcher 3, or any of the Witchers, I believe, but super popular game right now. We have not, is it Geralt or Geralt? Not him.
It's Geralt.
It's Geralt.
Yeah.
We have his horse, Roach, everybody. Welcome, Roach, to the podcast.
Hey, Roach.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's going on, Roach?
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, we have a horse in our studio right now.
Yeah.
I appreciate your accommodating. A lot of podcasts won't let me. They don't have the space in the studio.
Yeah.
Well, we just have this
accommodate a horse.
unused stable area, so it's pretty easy for us.
And we have an elevator, so we want to give you a good bird's eye view.
Yes.
That's very kind.
As
And I
a horse
appreciate the
size.
apples as well. You guys had nice apples to feed me on
We
the
heard-
way in, which
Yeah, we know what you like.
is
so
always nice.
Yeah,
It's-
Brian's kid likes apples, so we just usually have
Got some
apples
laying around.
Yeah.
Just leave a couple. You had 6 already.
Yeah,
Better-
it's-
yeah. But this has been
I'm
really.
a horse, man. I love apples.
What do you? what can we say? But yeah, I mean, you reached out. You wanted to be on the podcast, and we were like, dude, this is a great guest to have here. So, what's going on with you? Tell us.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if you've been watching the news a lot lately. It's sort of kind of at a moment of cultural reckoning.
Oh,
I
yeah.
sort of feel like, and I certainly don't want to, tie myself to the very important movement going on, the Me Too movement. But, you start to,
It's very, very woke for a horse.
yeah. I listen. I don't want to tie myself into that. It's
Sure.
not fair to the very valid concerns that those women have. But you do start to look at your workplace, and you kind of wonder, like, am I being exploited here? Am I being taken advantage of? I don't know. I'm not sure how much you know about my gig.
You Geralt, you not drive him around, I guess, but he.
No, I'm pretty much just, I just have to be wherever he is at
Yeah.
any given moment, which Geralt of Rivia. Yeah, Geralt of Rivia. Jerry Rivera. you
Oh.
mean?
Oh.
Jerry
Oh.
Rivera.
Is
Yeah.
that true? That's his real name.
That
Real
makes
name,
more sense.
Jerry.
Yeah.
But yeah, Geralt, sure.
I can tell by the long hair.
Yeah. So pretty much my whole reason for being is just to sort of linger around in the background in case Jerry happens to want to go for a ride at any point.
Oh.
He just whistles, and I'm just supposed to sort of magically appear out of nowhere. I mean, it doesn't matter. He could be in Redania and like just fast travel to to somewhere in Temeria, and I'm just supposed to like magically appear. Do you think he like checks in with me and says
No.
like, "Hey, meet me at the tavern"?
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I'm just supposed to like, it's one of those things where when you accept a level of abuse for a long time, it just starts to feel normal to you.
Wow.
Is it normal in the horse industry? I don't know what the industry is. The riding industry to like be on call all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a union, but it's a joke. I mean,
What's the union called?
We are called the International Steed Association.
Okay.
ISA.
The ISA.
ISA, yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew
ISA,
what that stood for.
Local
I've seen-
412.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a joke. It's like SAG. It doesn't. They don't do any. I mean, SAG's not bad. It's after it really is the. But the ISA is kind of a joke. Health insurance is bullshit.
How do you sign papers with your hooves?
It's a. I don't know if you know this.
Fingerprint, maybe?
Hoof prints are all individualized as well. I mean, you can't see.
Oh, they're like fingerprints.
Yeah, it's not really. But it's more of a scent thing. I can smell.
They each have
hooves
a smell.
and butts.
Are you sure the smell of the hooves is not really just from the horse poop that's being stepped in?
I understand that too. Like a human nose, it's just horse poop writ large.
Right.
But it would be like going into a fancy wine bar and being like, yeah, all this is just wine. It's like, no, that's a Pinot Noir.
Yes.
That's a
He's very.
Malbec.
I'm shocked at how you carry yourself, Roach. Like,
well, first of all,
I don't want to sound ignorant, like you're a horse, but man, you're smart, you're cultured.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's been hard for me to kind of remember who I used to be. First of all, my name is Philip. That's Geralt's whole thing is just like, and that's the annoying thing. He knows my name is Philip. He's fully aware of this.
That's not cool.
He's like, I'm going to call him Roach. Like when he sold me when my previous owner sold me to Geralt, he was like, this is your new horse. His name is Philip. He's like, fuck it. I'm going to call him Roach.
Really?
It's demeaning.
What is that?
So you can be sold even though you're in part of a union?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's not a very strong union. It's not a very strong
So slavery
union.
exists, but you have a union. It's
definitely a loophole.
Essentially, I mean, sold is not really the right word. I mean,
it's like a soccer player's contract being like
exactly. Like when George Michael was with
Wham.
When he was with one record company and then it was bought out by a larger record company, and all of a sudden he's like, but I never signed with this company, and like, tough shit, we own your contract now.
Right, like when
Roach?
What'd you say?
May I ask your age, Roach?
I'm 1309.
Oh, so that
okay.
explains. That's why he knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I try to stay up on current events. I read the notice boards.
There's a lot of notice boards in
the
Witcher 3 land. Yeah.
Just that mostly like I don't like getting into the heavy stuff. Mostly just like the gossip.
Yeah, that gossip stuff is
and
good,
the pop culture stuff.
Can I ask why they don't? I mean, there's so many missions in The Witcher, right? Such a huge game. Everybody knows that.
Ton of missions.
They don't even like allude to the fact that you can talk in the game. I feel like that's they dropped the ball there. There could have been a whole set of missions.
And they kept holding that out there as like, hey, we don't want to waste all of the good Roach stuff in the first 3 games, because then we're going to do Witcher 4 Roach's Rage.
Right, so they were sort of dangling that carrot, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
The pun was intended
No
on
pun,
that one.
yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
What a joke. Yeah, it's...
Are you getting a spin-off? Are you getting your own game? Is that in talk?
That's what they keep saying, but I'm probably torpedoing that by going on this podcast. But
you know what? A lot of characters use this podcast to get the word out about stuff. Like Mario's a dick. We found out. He treats a lot of people wrong, and Bowser's not so bad. So we people.
Well, I mean, it's not.
I
don't know why people are so surprised that Mario's shady. He's Italian. That's what they're like.
That's what we've heard. Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Wow, is there racism in the horse world?
I mean, you call it racism. I call it realism. I mean, you think it, I say it.
Yeah. Horses keep it real. They don't
like
have...
that phrase "from the horse's mouth." That's because they
Boom.
Yeah,
that's actually exactly.
They don't
what it is.
equivocate.
Yeah,
they get straight to it.
There's no filter, but not in a bad way. It's like,
So, how do you feel about adventuring in general? Do you like it? I mean, do you like getting to see different places?
It's. I don't. What you call an adventure, I call lugging someone's shit around.
Yes, that's a good
point. It's just so much crap, and none of it he uses. I mean. How many swords do you need, on a day? Like, how many swords do you need? How many swords do you carry around on a regular basis?
None myself, personally.
Not even one?
I would like to have one, but I wouldn't see a need.
But you can imagine, though. I mean, you're not a Witcher.
No, I'm not.
In all fairness, you're not a Witcher.
Definitely not.
But, just say you were a Witcher. Like,
I would say 2, maybe 4, right? Two regular swords and then 2 silver swords.
Yeah, the steel and the silver.
Like,
That you probably wouldn't need any more, right?
Yeah, I think 4, maybe 6.
That's a lot.
At most.
Yeah. What about a heavy mace? Have you ever needed a heavy mace?
No.
Ever?
Also true.
Like, why would you need a heavy mace if you had a sword?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Have you encouraged him to try to sell some of his stuff just to lighten your load?
Well, but he just replaces it. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's just temporarily, and it'd be like, oh my god, what a load off, and then all of a sudden, we get into a tussle with some bandits, and all of a sudden, I have 8 rusty Nilfgaardian swords, weighing me down all day.
Yeah,
which to what end?
Yeah.
I ask.
He has a lot of stuff.
I think a lot of these games they promote materialism, you know, so they want you to buy things. They want you to hold on to them just in case you can use them later. And they don't, there's not, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but people don't realize about Geralt of Rivia. He's a hoarder, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know.
Because not only you, he also has a chest full of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, it's in multiple cities he has these chests, which, you know, I don't understand the whole science behind that because, you know, you put your stuff in one chest and magically it shows up some other city. It seems...
Yeah, I wonder if part of his magic power, maybe he can make that happen. I don't know.
guess, man. Well, it's
No,
just like, why not put all of it? Like, why do I have to carry any of it?
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
a service. I think a service. It'll if you go to one city to another, they
Like
take
a task
it for you.
rabbit comes and picks it up
it's
for
kinda
you.
like
Yeah.
it's like a storage.
That
It's like a
makes
startup.
sense.
I heard a
Couriers
startup
and
was
start.
a
Yeah,
startup
yeah,
that
that
they
makes sense.
Move your stuff
some
from city to city.
Silicon Valley bros.
Have you ever thought of working with like Zelda? I know he uses a lot of horses. Like he has his Epona, but you know maybe he needs a backup.
He's
horse.
got weapons and stuff too. He carries a lot
Yeah,
of
it's the
things.
same gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Zelda, we kind of had a thing. We're not really. It's just not, you know. I wouldn't say that we're enemies.
Oh,
I mean, we settled it. We're cool.
Okay.
But you know, I just I don't feel like we bring out the best in each other. Just put it that way.
Interesting.
You know, we have a little bit of a past. I mean, I've worked with a number of different adventurers, and I mean, Geralt's probably the shittiest. I mean, I hold nothing against Zelda at all. I mean, I wish him the best. We're not enemies. We're just not friends.
You mean Link?
Link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Link, right? Of course. Link. Yes, I know these.
People
It's a common
make that
area.
mistake.
Zelda. You know, it's.
We know. Yeah. So
what about
who-
like Skyrim, for example? I mean, Skyrim kind of the same picturesque kind of landscape.
Yeah,
There's not a lot
yeah.
going there.
Skyrim. You know, I have a cousin in Skyrim, and he speaks really well of it. I mean, he says he's treated much better. I know some of the same concerns. You know, a lot of junk you have to carry around, but the horses there are respected more. They have more leisure time. They're not just expected to just magically appear
That's
whenever.
I mean, you do. Yeah. I mean, all that
Are you
stuff,
on call right now? Like, what if Gerald
yeah.
needs you or Jerry needs you right now?
You know,
the off-season.
I guess, but you know, I mean, technically, I'm always on call,
Yeah.
and so I just kind of have to hope. But you would not believe. I mean, generally, when he goes into the city, I know I've probably got at least like 36 hours.
Right.
to-
Yeah.
you know,
That's a good point.
because honestly, it's like trying to ride me through a city is just more pain than it's worth. Honestly,
It's really
Yeah,
hard.
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, like when he whistles for me and I just feel like being a little bit of a bitch, you know, I'll just kind of get trapped behind a tree or something and like not be able to get
happened
over
for
to
me.
him,
Yeah.
like, and make him have to like walk down the road 50 feet.
Yeah,
then
and you're
whistle
always
for me
trying.
again.
You don't give up. You're always trying to get to him.
Yeah,
You're very
yeah.
like,
You know, as far as
He
he knows.
pretends. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
walking
I'll be there in a
place.
second, Geralt.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me
Yeah.
a second, buddy.
What's up with his girl Tress? He's always after that. I mean, they
Triss.
Triss, sorry.
Triss.
Come on,
Close
You know,
enough.
Triss, you know, she's not bad. She's
Yeah.
not bad. I mean, there's, you know, the various women in Geralt's life. I mean, they're humans, so I mean, there's only so interested in them I can be.
Yeah.
But
True.
but you know, she's a mage,
Mm.
and you know,
She has some powers, right?
yeah, she's got some powers, some pretty good powers. Not bad. I mean, I don't fully understand how you can have all these powers and still be like living in just some weird couple's house up in their attic. It feels like if you had all these magical powers, you'd probably be able to afford like at least a 3-bedroom or something.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense. And so you said you're 1,300 years old. Is there?
I mean, these are horse ears. You have
Okay,
to
I was gonna
imagine
say,
they don't.
yeah.
They're not as. They're not similar to.
How does horse ears work?
There are basically 302 horse years to every human 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
So he's only a couple years old, actually.
Yeah.
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 Also,
It's-
a very
it's a
weird,
weird-
unit of measure.
Yeah, I wasn't there. It's not.
I mean, it's just a conversion rate for like veterinarians. Really, it's not
Exactly.
You know, they experience
Yeah.
time the same way as us.
Okay, I got you.
How come we don't see like horse games, like 4 horses by horses kind of thing? You know.
You know, the coding is hard with hooves.
Yes, that's a good point.
So I mean, that's the problem is that it's like we're constantly in these games, but we have no power over them. We're like NFL players.
Oh,
Like
Points. Yeah.
exploited.
Have you guys
and
thought
then
So do you have like a
locked
horse
out of
lives
the
matter
top
march
position.
How about a
on?
horse
Like,
football game?
I'm sorry?
do you have like a horse lives matter march, or do you ever like take a knee or take a hoof? To protest.
I do occasionally take a knee, but that's usually when I've been ridden for hours. It's more of an exhaustion thing than it is
Right.
really a political statement.
Okay,
But
sure.
but I'm sorry. What was your question?
Horse
off.
life.
I'm just
Off
curious
the
about like
reservation.
if you're
Yeah.
active in like the horse rights movement.
I'm just not a joiner. Really? I mean, it's like I support what they're doing, I guess, but it's just like, what am I going to... I'm going to go on like a horse march or stampede or whatever you want to call it.
That's what you're trying to avoid because you get ridden around so much anyway. It's like
Exactly.
you're
It's
doing
like,
the same
yeah,
gee,
sure.
in my leisure time, I'm gonna,
Right.
go wandering around the countryside. Gee, what a nice break from the ordinary that is.
I feel you got kind of bitter because you got been treated so poorly by Geralt over the years. I
Yeah.
feel like it's not
Do I
bitter,
sound
but it's-
bitter?
No, I mean, a little bit, but
I kind of
I understand.
I'm a bit offended by that characterization. I would say that I am done being taken advantage of.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I totally
So, I mean, maybe just watch your tone a little bit.
get it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Yeah, but I again, I'm on your side.
That's all right. No, I'm sorry.
I
I
totally
just-
get it. No, it's cool, man. It's
I'm
horse.
sorry, man. I had to like run through like a bunch of necrophages on the way. It was just it's been a shit day. I'm not gonna lie.
When's the
to
last
you.
time you saw Geralt? Was it recently?
Oh God, it feels like I see him every minute.
Yeah.
7-8 hours ago.
does he know that you can talk?
Nah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting.
I mean, I tried talking to him for the first, few weeks, but he was just in one of those weird meditation things he
Right.
does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was like every time we settle down and like sit by the fire or whatever, I'm like, all right, well, hey, so have you bought any good music lately? Or and he's just immediately doing his stupid
Yeah.
lotus position bullshit. And then 10 hours later he wakes up and time to go riding again.
Have you ever been hit by any of his spells that he does, like to the demons, like by accident? Just curious. Those things kind of spread a lot sometimes. I wonder if you've ever been caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, sometimes I get singed
Mm.
by that the whole axie thing. That
I can tell
the
your tail a
fire.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, for people who don't know, I'm going to throw this jargon around and
Go for
realize it's a axie. Geralt has a bunch of signs that he
Right.
can cast that do different things. One is like an air blast, another one's like a shield he can make. Axie is like when he sets things on fire. And there are times when a lot of times I do get singed. The saddle that I'm currently wearing is not totally up to code.
Oh.
And which is another thing. If I wanted to bust him, I could. I mean, he doesn't realize that I could. I could go to my union with that because I'm supposed to have a fireproof saddle.
Yeah.
But it's just at a certain point. It's just then what? I'm going to go and report it. They're not going to do anything
He's
about
not
it.
treating
It's
you
just
nicer. He's might even
Yeah.
be madder at you if that happens.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, where's the ISA going to be when I'll make the complaint and then they'll make a big stink about it and then I have to go home. I have to move on.
Right. You're out of a job, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then I'm on a mission
Yeah.
and
Are you? People are always impressed when they meet a Witcher. It seems like, oh, you're a Witcher. Like, are you
Yeah.
kind of sick of that? Like, because how he
well,
really
he's
is?
just so rude to people.
He
That's the
is.
thing. It's like, I mean, you should see this guy just when he's like walking through like a city area. He's just like bumping into people, you know,
Yeah.
and they even like try to passive aggressively like let him know. They're always like, bah!
Yeah.
Like as he bumps into them, and he's just like, yeah, sorry, I gotta
Yeah.
go.
He makes you do that too, so just run right through him sometimes.
I've never seen him say sorry, to be honest with you.
Not even
Yeah.
once. I don't know that sorry is in his vocabulary.
The Witchers
honestly.
don't know that word.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. How do you become a Witcher? Are you just born that way?
It's a whole process.
Is it?
It's a I mean, you gotta
I think it's an
drink this-
internship or something, right?
Yeah, there's like an internship, and
Apprenticeship,
there's an
maybe.
essay, and you have to know Excel.
That's good to know, I guess, in general. But yeah.
How do you stay so calm in the face of so many monsters?
Well, there are times when I do get startled, I do get frightened.
Some creepy looking things out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but for whatever reason, when I you just go into a zone, I guess, and you realize you sort of just you let Geralt take the wheel, so to speak. there's only so much I can do as a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do, if somebody is positioned perfectly, I can try like one of those back mule kick type things.
Right. Yeah.
But the person really has to be right in the line
Yeah.
of my hoof, or else it's just
It's wasted. Yeah.
I would use that move all the time if I could do it. Like personally, if I could do that myself, I would just kick people off. Not off the subway tracks. I just
If you were a horse, you would do horse.
Oh yeah,
kick.
totally.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So are there ever times where you're asked to do things where you're like, this is way above my pay grade, and you're just like, nay, or you? Just like,
Well, I mean, there's so many times where he'll be riding me at like a breakneck speed.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll like get to a cliff, and he'll be like, keep going, and I'll be like, not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I always find that so rude. I've seen players do that sometimes where they're like, no, you can just jump it. And you're like, no.
Yeah. It's easy for you to say you're not doing the jumping.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you have all that stuff. I mean, you're in great shape. You carry hundreds and hundreds of pounds of stuff, obviously, but still, it's not easy.
Your haunches
so
are
fat.
on point.
Also,
Like,
I've noticed a lot of times you'll be going full speed and he'll just jump off and go do something else.
Yeah, he thinks it makes him look cool when he jumps off the
Yeah.
back of it like
Yeah.
that, and it's just like, oh, look at me, like Mr. Rodeo guy. What a joke.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the dude is a chump with that stupid Julian Assange haircut he has.
Very nice.
I've heard maybe it's a rumor, but I've heard his hair is not actually white. That he dyes it white to like keep up like Witcher appearance.
Yeah, it's totally, it makes it, I don't know, he thinks it gives him a cool Coachella look or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Like those girls who dye their hair silver.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, maybe if you were a better Witcher, you wouldn't be literally covered in scars.
Yeah. He's got some big scars on him.
Yeah.
All over. I mean, we're learning a lot here.
I know, seriously.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned that there are times where he's off like doing his own thing or in a cave or whatever. So what do you do during that downtime?
I don't know. I try to meet other horses when I
Oh.
can. I mean, not really like in groups. Like I said, I don't like large groups of horses. Like I don't like going to stables and like just milling around. But sometimes when you're outside of a tavern, there's another horse. Maybe
It's like two limo drivers talking to each other or something.
yeah, kind of. There's a certain bond that you have.
Sure.
I mean, some of the horses are wild, and those ones are present their own challenges to sort of relate to. But the regular sort of the various
Workhorse.
knight errants horses tend to be a little uptight. Little stuck up, honestly. But you're sort of just your average witcher or tradesperson. Some of the horses are pretty cool, and you do feel like you have like a little bit of an unspoken bond, like 'cause you're coming from the same background, and occasionally there's some romance.
You're literally
Oh.
drinking
Okay.
from the same trough, right? So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should be, friendly with these horses.
I mean, it's like you're tasting my saliva, I'm tasting your
Yeah.
saliva.
Yeah,
It's
right,
all
yeah,
kind of just mixing in.
Yeah.
and,
It's like, hey, do you mind? Take a little
yeah,
couple
yeah.
sips. Yeah.
You ever get any horse armor? Did you get horse armor? Ever?
Yeah, occasionally. I mean, not like the knight errants do. I mean, those horses are pretty tricked out. My saddle, I have like one of the top of the line saddles now. Not because he cares about me, just because it carries more fucking weight.
Right.
I mean,
Oh.
just,
Probably
it's-
looks
it's-
cool.
of
for him
course.
Too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then even worse, every once in a while, Geralt to be out on one of these contract deals. Hey, go kill my basilisk.
Yeah.
I'll pay you 300 gold, whatever. And then this jackass, he cuts the thing's head off and like hangs it from my body.
Yeah, ripping
like,
on your butt.
do you know? Yeah, do you know how much that stinks? It just smells
Yeah.
and it's gross. And just like,
Yeah.
Do you get a cut of those contracts?
no, I don't. I'm telling you, I'm basically my union is useless.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I came on the podcast, my whole intention was like, it's time for me to sort of speak out about Jerry Rivera.
Right.
Whistleblower.
But
Yeah.
but now I'm thinking, the ISA is just at fault. Because when you think about it, the Witcher's just, I can't blame him for being an asshole. That's his job.
What he does.
But the union's supposed to be looking out for us.
Well,
Yeah.
what do you want? What kind of good work conditions are you looking for?
I would like to put a cap on swords and other pieces of weaponry
Like
that I'm
like a
forced
weight
to
limit,
carry.
like an inventory.
Yeah, a weight limit.
Yeah, if he has 30 bread knives, that's fine. They're not heavy, but he can't have 30 swords.
And a lot of these swords that he picks up don't even have sheaths, and so they're you like paper cuts. You're just like slapping you on the leg and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would like some sort of OSHA type safety regulations. I would like sick days.
Yes.
I mean, last time I had a sick day was 940. I think horse years, remember?
Right. A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would like fresher hay.
I mean, all those are completely reasonable. I
Yeah,
think.
They seem pretty
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean,
he should be more. I mean, he should be more sympathetic.
yeah, it's like, what the hell is this, Triangle Shirtwaist Factory?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he just wants to do his job, get paid, look cool while doing
Yes.
it, bang some broads. Right? That's all he wants to do. He doesn't care about his horse. They're like his main means of transportation.
Because I mean, that's a frustrating thing, is that like there's so rarely time for like a relationship, which is maddening when you are literally hung like a horse.
Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah.
You gotta clean the couch.
I mean, I don't mean to brag, but
Hey, it's
no, it's
impressive.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm average for horses, but
so we don't know what the average is for horses.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I never watched Equus, so I don't know.
yeah, I mean, it's not I'm not really big in length, but girth wise, I'm pretty
Sure.
good.
Do you mingle with other like horses in the entertainment industry? You know, like a Seabiscuit or something like that.
That's
You
a
know,
good
like
question.
I've
Mr. Ed?
never actually met Seabiscuit. I mean, everybody
Heard
thinks
about
that like,
it,
it's so funny when you tell people you're a horse, you're like, oh, do you know Jim? He's like, yeah.
you know, I get the
don't
same
know
thing
every
because I'm Indian, and people,
Yeah.
do you know this other Indian guy that I
right.
There's only
And me
4
too,
billion of
you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. I do know a number of Indian horses. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I know that I met that horse from The Last of Us. I met that horse. I don't remember the horse's name.
Me neither.
Kind of standoffish. I'm good friends with the God, I'm really bad with names. The Red Dead Redemption horse.
Oh.
the
I was
horse's
actually just
name?
about to ask that if you knew.
Yeah, I mean, well, that horse is taken well care of. I mean, you say what you want about the Wild West. The dudes love their horse.
They
But
do.
he's,
Yeah.
he's getting
Treat them
shot at too, so I feel like it demands.
But
of
back
his
then, that
job.
was like
That is
was
true.
like
That is true.
The way like people take care of their cars nowadays. That's what they did in the Wild West with their
Yeah,
horses.
Yeah.
totally.
You
It was
know,
like,
they brushed them with them big brushes. They fed them good and everything.
check out my ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pimp my horse.
Whereas, like, where I'm from, it's you're purely thought of as just a means to an end.
I think maybe because the game is made by an Eastern European developer. Maybe they have they don't
Game?
think of horses. Yeah,
It could be.
yeah,
game.
yeah. I mean, the
The world
Yes.
you live in.
the people
Right,
who
right.
conceived of
Yeah, I
Bravia,
guess,
yeah.
I guess to some people it's a game.
Yeah.
I guess I'd love for it to feel like a game for me, but unfortunately it's my life. So
Yeah.
Well, can you quit? Are you able to walk off or ride off or?
I got another 7 years before I can get my pension.
Wow.
Right.
Horse years or regular?
Oh, yeah.
Regular years,
Okay. Ah, damn.
Oh, so
unfortunately. In Earth years, your years.
yeah, that's like
That's
thousands. of
302
years for you.
times 14.
Mhm.
For
That's a
anybody
lot.
can figure
Yep.
that out.
It's like
yeah.
3,000 years almost.
302 times 14, which
Yeah.
is it's a lot. It's a
It's
lot.
a lot.
It's a while.
More than that.
It's a minute, as they say.
A hot minute.
And
hot
then,
minute.
do you think there's any chance that you might get you might be end up after you retire like a stud horse?
Some would say I already am,
But,
but
Is
No,
that
I mean,
not enough.
like a breeding
but-
horse.
It's a horse you just to breed, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the dream. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just
because
settle down.
Witcher is
one
very
day.
popular. You're a very popular horse. You're very famous.
Yeah, but again, people know me as Roach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody knows me as Philip.
Why did you choose Roach? You think he names all his
It's
horses?
purely to demean me and to make me
It seems
feel
like it.
less than.
It's not a stallion type name.
Yeah,
You know?
it's basically it's like calling me piece of shit essentially.
Right?
Yeah.
Even
Roach.
Seabiscuit isn't that great, but it's kind of cute. At
He
least.
calls all of his horses Roach. By the way, he called the horse he had before me Roach as well. So it's like
Maybe he's
completely
maybe
impersonal.
He's just kind of dumb with names.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't have a good memory. I don't know.
He seems like he just doesn't have respect for horses. He probably doesn't have respect for a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
He
mean,
just wants to get paid.
in his defense, those Witcher trials, they do fuck with your head. I mean, I'm sure he's probably got issues of his own.
Sure.
I mean, It's not an excuse. It's a reason, but it's not an excuse.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Now he's a witcher, right?
Mhm.
He's hunting witches. Somebody could.
Not really. I mean, there are witches. The terminology, people get confused. People think that if you're a witcher that you're primarily hunting witches. That's a very small fraction of what we're usually dealing with.
At first it was, but then all these other monsters. I gotcha.
But primarily these days, it's a lot of moon wraiths.
Mm-hmm.
Different kinds of vampires, different higher vampires, lower vampires.
Scary looking things.
Those little, those ones that blow up, rot fiends. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
Yeah, rot fiends. Werewolves, right?
Occasional werewolf. Yep.
Now,
yep.
You know how like when soldiers go into battle and like the musician or the drummer just has a vest that says like drummer boy, or like the media has something called media and they don't get shot and hit. Is it kind of like that in this world where they won't go after the horse for some reason? Like you've lasted a lot of battles. Like do they just not try to kill you? Like that would probably really mess up Jerry. I'm glad they don't. But
I will say that
unspoken rule or something.
I'm glad that I work in my industry and not in the. I made fun of you for calling it a game earlier, but
I'm sorry.
I know it's a game. I mean, I'm not.
That's just the term that we use.
I know. No, I understand. It's like I'm not an idiot. I understand, but it's like I have a lot of friends who are in like the TV and film horse world, and I feel like at least 10 of them have had that thing happen where the guy like chops out their legs as the horses, you know what I mean? Like,
with the wire, you put the wire.
Yeah, or like the horse will be running towards the dude who's standing on the ground,
Game
and
of
then
Thrones
he'll like
stuff,
kneel, and then chop on the leg. I mean, that has never happened to me.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thankfully,
That's good.
it's called getting kneed in my biz.
Yeah.
I've never been kneed, and so I mean, you do get shot with the occasional arrow and things like that, and I don't know. They just expect that it's not going to bother me, and
I guess he heals you up or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's magic apples and stuff like that.
Yeah, he needs you, so maybe at least he does that for you. So that's good.
Yeah, but it's not for me. It's for him.
That's
It's for him.
Yeah.
It's for
Right.
him.
Yeah.
So I can be there.
Yeah. It's a rough life, man. It's a rough life.
It is.
Family? Are they in different businesses or?
I don't know. That's the question. I know that's a good question. I mean, when I remember the first few hours of my life. I had a mom. I do remember that, but
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
It's
Sorry.
all right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it's very
okay. I mean,
insensitive,
hey, it's
Olive.
only my
Jeez.
mother,
Sorry.
but
I didn't know what I was thinking.
no. I mean, it was a wonderful few hours. I'm not going to lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember she nuzzled me.
Yeah.
She's a big nuzzler.
That's good.
But that was it. I mean, I don't even know if I'd recognize her if I saw her now.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Probably
you were
recognize the smell, the butt. It's a
recognize your
butt and
butt.
hooves.
so you were sold at a really, really early age. I didn't realize it was that young.
Yeah. I mean, they get you. They separate you pretty quick. I mean, because they don't want you to develop like self-esteem and like a sense
maybe
of
they make you as hardened.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's like
cold.
Maybe that should be one of your demands, like not breaking
Family
up
time?
a horse family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
traumatic for a foal,
for absolutely. I mean, be like a full house. So, I'm sorry. I'm bad with puns. What
No,
can I
that was
tell you?
great.
Sorry.
We get it.
Uh,
You're a horse. I mean, what?
Well,
can you-
speaking of
what
Full
can you
House,
expect?
I had an idea to make your life.
I know.
easier.
Sometimes I tell a joke and people just say "nay." Am I right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But here's my idea, right? Speaking
Yeah.
of Full House,
Yeah.
you know how the
Full House.
they had the twins playing the one baby, all right?
I don't know what you're
Michelle.
talking about. I'm just joking. I know what you're talking about.
Why couldn't you have there be two horses?
Yeah.
Like Roach 2. That
Totally.
way you guys can work on shift, off shift, kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
wouldn't know or
like
care.
Geralt would. Yeah, like he
wouldn't
gives
know.
a crap.
He's drunk a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
He doesn't. Yeah, he's totally
Is he
wasted.
playing Gwent?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Gwent.
lamest game
It's-
of
it's
all
pre-
time.
it's pretty lame.
So dumb, dude.
Probably the most boring part of this game.
It's just what a dumb word too. Gwent.
Yeah,
it makes me think of
Gwent.
Gwen, like Gwen Stefani.
Does it?
Gwent Stefani.
I guess.
To me, it sounds like a kind of fart. There's a real Gwent. Do
It
you know
sounds
what I
like
mean?
a very wet one.
Yeah,
actually.
like a pork. Like one of those.
little bubble.
Yeah,
there.
like a little wet bubble
couple of
fart.
Gwents.
Yeah, it's about as fun as that, which those
Yeah.
aren't fun for.
It also sounds like a racial slur a little bit, right?
could be.
Gwent.
These
Some
Gwents?
parts of the
Look
Yeah,
world.
that's fucking Gwent.
So,
Taking our jobs as Gwents.
We got to go soon. Do you want to tell us any last words, Philip? Anything you want to tell everybody?
I'm going to be in White Orchard this weekend.
It's good. Just grazing.
Yeah, check me out at
in the field or at the tavern?
At the tavern. I'm going to be at the Golden Griffin.
All right.
Oh, nice. That's like the main
through
stage. I like
Saturday.
that.
Yeah. It's not bad. They have a green stable, nice green stable there, and so come check me out at the Golden Griffin, and check out my podcast, Horse Talk.
Horse talk.
It's just horse talk. Okay.
I haven't started yet, but when I started,
It's you
definitely.
talking to other
Okay.
horses, so horses talking to each other? Or?
it's just more me. It's just a way for me to sort of get my thoughts out
right,
there.
kind of like,
you
a
know?
Bill, like
yeah.
a Bill Burr
Just
situation.
kinda help
You
my
just talk.
brand.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
You should name it straight from the horse's mouth, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Straight-
thi-
that's a better name.
Subtitle.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Horse
Yeah.
talk. Colon. Straight from
Damn,
the
I
horse's
really
mouth.
should have thought of that.
You got it.
Well, you can
Take
have
it.
it.
Take it.
Yeah, you take it.
We don't need it.
It's the least we
All
can
right,
do.
thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You want to play a quick game with us before you
Yeah,
head out?
sure.
Before you gallop away?
Yeah.
Guys, it's time for everybody's favorite game show on a podcast. It's Wed,
Wed,
Bed,
Bed,
Dead.
Dead. Wed, and then bed, and then dead.
That's
Wed,
right.
bed,
So
dead.
we're going to give you three choices here, Philip.
All
We're going to 3 video game characters. One,
Yep.
you're going to tell who you want to wed, who you want to bed, and then who you want dead. All
Okay.
right, so-
We don't really do beds, but I get what you're talking about. Like mount.
You get it.
Mount.
Yeah.
Who you want to
Yeah.
lay in a manger with,
Mount.
and who you want to dead.
Yeah.
There you
Yep.
go.
Yep.
So this is completely random, by the way. They always are. Beep, boop, boop. And they all start with a D, which is kind of weird. All the names start with a D for some reason.
Oh, weird.
So the first one, I'm not sure how Phil might enjoy this one. It's actually a animal, so maybe it might be a little easier for you. It's Diddy Kong, everybody.
oh.
It's Diddy Kong.
And in
from-
case you guys don't know, Diddy Kong is Donkey Kong's sidekick from the Donkey
It's
Kong
not his
series.
relative
It's his
or
son, isn't it?
Is it his
No,
son?
no, it's not his
No.
son at all.
Sort of the Poochie of the
maybe
Donkey
a
Kong
cousin,
world.
but his sidekick,
Yeah,
Diddy
what is-
Kong.
What is that, Dick? What did you say?
sidekick,
Yeah.
Diddy
not
Kong.
his son.
He's a sidekick, apparently.
Sidekick. Yeah.
He is a chimpanzee
He's
who
got a-
wears a
He actually
shirt.
changed his name to Sean Diddy Kong.
Good.
You're very funny. You're very. I mean, not
Thank
that
you.
horses can't be funny, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And that's why he's at the
Yeah,
White Orchard
Tell
later.
Jerry that.
I don't think he has a sense of humor.
He's a spider monkey.
Really, right?
He's,
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Oh, is he?
Spider
Spider monkey?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
he looks
Donkey Kong
chimpanzee-ish.
is a gorilla.
Okay.
So
That's just your racism, Calvin.
Yeah, that's it. They just lump
Well, you
all
know, I'm
if you're,
Yeah.
I'm
if
very
you're Simeon,
apist,
you're
as
all
you
the
know.
same.
I know, right?
So he's got a little red Nintendo hat on, but like a baseball cap. He's got a little red vest type of thing, and that's all he wears. So,
He's a mechanic.
so easy access. He throws bananas, and he's a mechanic. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
That's option one.
that's option one. The next one is Little Mac's trainer, Doc. From Mike
Oh,
Tyson's Punch Out.
who looks?
Just the classic, boxing trainer, as we all know. There we go.
Yeah.
That's him from the old days.
Sort of
Yep.
A paunchy old black man.
A little
He
fat
looks very
Albert-ish.
much like
Semi-fat
Carl
Albert.
from Family Matters. If you're into that
Yes,
sort of thing.
Carl
Like the guy
Yeah.
from The
Yeah.
Office. He looks
Yes.
like the guy from The Office.
He does look like Stanley from The Office.
Yeah.
A lot. He's got a big red sweater. He's always got a towel around his neck. Might
Yeah.
come in useful for one of these choices. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. So we got Diddy Kong, Doc from Punch Out, and one of the more weird and not very used that often characters from Street Fighter 2, Dalsim.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one.
Indian
Representing
fighter.
What was
people.
his special move?
He stretched very
he stretched
far.
and he
Maybe-
shot
I
fire.
like
He
that.
yoga
Yeah,
fire.
fire.
Didn't he do some sort of like teleporting thing or
Yes.
floating or something?
Also
Yoga
can teleport.
Yoga flame, yoga
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. I'm
Actually,
gonna-
very weird fact.
Yeah.
yeah, please.
Capcom had to take it out because it was too racist. They used to say that he was able to spit fire because he ate a lot of spicy curry.
That's not that racist. I mean, Indian people do eat spicy food.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't cause you to breathe fire.
But nothing causes you to breathe.
Well, people complained, so they changed
One
it.
person complained.
No,
One
more than
annoying
one
I
person.
apologize to everyone on behalf of that stupid Indian. Like that.
Interesting.
So anyway, so now he breathes fire because of the fire god Agni.
Okay, even a
There
little
you
better.
Yes.
So,
That's so
Wow,
stupid.
all right.
Philip, who do you want to wed, bed, dead out of these choices? Diddy
Well-
Kong, Doc, or Dalsim?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna wed Doc because he's a caretaker by nature.
Yes.
Oh, smart.
I do get a little nervous because he's a heavier fella.
Well, he has a bicycle though.
That is true.
Yes.
So I would be more of a companion.
Don't need
Yep.
to travel around.
You
with
know,
him, yeah.
that would
Maybe
be nice.
occasionally give him a lift, but overall, he's got a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then I'm gonna wed Doc.
It's a good
Okay.
partnership.
I am going to bed Delcine. Was that the gentleman's name?
Yeah.
Delcine.
Delcine.
Because you got to imagine the whole tantric thing.
Mhm.
Oh.
Probably,
Yeah, I mean, he's mastered yoga, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You know, and the floating things, feel like you could work with that.
Does everything stretch on Dalsim?
we don't know. Who knows?
Good point.
That's
Good
a
And
point.
you're a
question.
horse. He may need to get in there a little deeper. So
That is true. That is
might
true.
be interesting.
Oh,
to
does
find
seem
out.
he is
Yeah.
married, has a kid, so you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
And so that means poor Diddy Kong's got to go.
Oh,
Sorry, buddy.
Killing the monkey.
I hate to see
Sorry,
animal
buddy.
violence. I hate to see it, but
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. I don't know. Yeah, but he's too
Damn.
big. Philip's too big to bed Diddy, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I mean,
Either way,
yeah,
he's dead.
it-
Diddy's
and you
gonna
can't
die.
marry.
Yeah.
one of us is not doing well in that situation, and it's not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
True.
great choices. Yeah,
Thank you,
excellent.
thank you.
Alep,
I feel good about those
You
choices.
should.
This is tough. It put me in a weird spot here, because.
No women.
Well, no, because of my countrymen. What do I do with my fellow Indian?
Oh, right.
Oh yeah,
Character
true.
here.
If you dead
No.
him, you're in trouble.
I'm just saying, if you get
You know
married,
what
you
I
could be
mean?
Indian together, like how I usually do.
Well, I
With
feel
the
like
black guys.
so. If I marry him, right,
Mhm.
my parents will be happy because he's Indian, but also
Oh.
I'll have they'll be like, "Are you gay? We didn't know you were gay." So like I would have to go through all that.
Double-edged
Not that,
sword.
but it's hard to come out at age 37.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot easier than you think.
You think so? Okay. So then I'd explain that. But there are so many benefits to marrying him, right? Because maybe he can teach you yoga. He could teach you, all these things that he knows.
He can teleport you
He
around.
could teleport you around.
I mean, that's a lot more useful than just learning how to throw bananas at people.
Yeah.
It's a big plus.
I think I would marry him because there's lots of benefits to it, right? You get to travel around, the whole Street Fighter thing. We've discussed that before. One, it would be good. I'd be taken back to India. We could do a wedding there. Everyone would be like, they'd get off my case,
the traditional garb.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And then all his yoga powers and everything like that. Maybe we could he could teach them to me or something.
At least one of them would be
At least
cool.
one of them. We're both bald Indian men, so that
Yeah.
would be.
I mean, right now I'm already seeing like a rom-com. What do they call it? Oh my God, I'm brain farting here. I'm
Meet
a horse.
cute.
I don't remember. No, when they have the montage,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
romantic
Oh, yeah.
montage where you guys are like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
trying to teach you downward dog, and then you fall over and
Right.
you chuckle about it, and
Yeah.
then
Right,
you're,
right.
That would be really
then
cute.
you're eating spicy curry. or
Like
is
I'm
that
walking,
racist?
walking past him, and then he extends his leg out real far to trip me
From across the room, though.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like a-
yeah.
It'd be like
Yeah.
30 feet away.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a funny part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a funny
or
part.
or he's putting a lobster into a pot, but like with a really stretchy long arm.
Yes.
It's
Right.
like an Annie Hall thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of romance there.
Yeah.
It seems like we could build a good life.
I think you guys get along.
Well, see now, bed. I don't want to bed an old, fat person in Doc, but also you can't
So
bed the
sizist
monkey,
and
I
right?
know, seriously.
that's how HIV started, right? So you can't be bedding primates.
We still don't know that. Okay, hold up.
I thought you saw
Are you
Doc for a
serious?
minute. No, you mean Diddy.
Oh, did he? Right.
Yes. Okay.
Well, no. I'm saying I'm trying to say who am I going to bed, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking to patient zero over here.
My
Well,
God,
that's a
who are you,
strong
Roy
theory.
Moore?
Wait.
Jesus
This
Christ!
is the way-
I get
Oh my
it.
God,
He's just being, just
I'm
exploring
being
all
careful.
the options.
I don't know.
that's
Yeah.
not whatever. My God,
I think I would bed Doc.
Yeah.
Probably. Not
Give him one last hurrah.
I guess. I guess we'd, maybe we'd talk about, boxing a little bit, or we can, I don't know. It seems like he's a better choice for betting than a little spider monkey. I feel like that feels wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's consensual with a spider monkey, like what's going to
That's
happen?
two people who want to kill the spider monkey.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
Yikes.
All right.
Sorry, dude.
Ouch.
So I'm going to go. Here's the thing. I sort of want to marry Diddy because I love monkeys so much. It'd be cool to have one around all the time.
Yeah.
Just for fun. And you're never bored with a monkey, I would
It'd be
think.
like Friends, that monkey and Friends.
Well,
Yeah.
but you realize it's a lot of poop, right?
It's a lot of poop, but he's like intelligent, so I think I could teach him to go in the toilet.
Yeah, he can wear a hat, so he could probably use a toilet.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
He's a mechanic, so I think he knows where to shit. You know what I mean? I think I might marry Diddy in this one, just to have a monkey laying around, This is where it does get tricky though, because Doc's helped a lot of people, It seems like a nice old
He's only helped one person.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like a nice old chap. Might have just helped Little Mac. But he helped him get to the top.
He did.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a pretty good success story. Little Mac beat Mike Tyson.
That might be a reason to marry him, if you want like a coach, like a life coach.
Well, I don't think I really need that. I'm just saying I think it would be
Hard to kill him.
Yeah,
It feels
I would
bad
feel
killing him.
bad deading him in this situation.
yeah.
But then to bed Dalsim, again, it might be just an interesting, curious night to see. Like I said, if he's on one side of the room, I'm on the other, and he's like, I'm coming, and just stretches all the way across the room. Might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just, might just...
I mean, I'm sure he could do all sorts of wild
just the
things,
tip from 20 feet away might be interesting I think, to see.
Imagine floating sex also.
Yeah.
If he could hold me like that, that'd be kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's worth checking out. So I'm going to have to bed Dalsim. And sorry, Doc. Doc's going to be dead in this one, I think.
Aw.
So, he's had a good life. He's the closest.
Yeah.
Well, Dalsim's like 100 anyway. 100 years old. But he's pretty old, I
He's
think.
No,
ageless,
he's like-
because the yoga keeps him immortal, I think, right?
Is he young?
That's literally not how any
Well,
of
he's got
that
horrible
works. He's
posture.
like in his 50s.
Even though
Well,
he does yoga. He's always like hunched over.
it's probably because he's like been in how many fighting tournaments?
Yeah, that's true. And all his bones are like rubbery. So I guess that's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
But those are...
I mean, he's got to drink more milk, obviously.
Yeah, he
but
does.
Let's see what Calvin does.
Go for it.
I don't know. This is a very good question. Yeah. I would wed Dalsim because the yoga, the teleporting, and like he's a humanitarian. He cares about kids.
Uh-huh.
He cares about his elephants. I want to ride an elephant. That would be nice.
Good point.
I've never been able to.
Oh, that's mean to do nowadays, apparly.
Oh, is that too?
that's
Oh,
frowned-
right, because
that's
the
frowned
Ringling
upon.
Brothers. Yeah. Well,
Oh, right, yeah. Riding elephants is so hard. It's so hard for the elephant
Yeah,
to
that's
carry a tiny little human. I have no idea what
See?
that's like.
That's a good point. Like, it's
well, in that case, then I feel even more committed to wedding Dalsim.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm into
but
that.
not to ride his elephants. Just to bathe
I mean,
down
I would
there.
nuzzle the elephant.
Nuzzle.
I'd touch the trunk.
Is that okay, Philip?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
All right.
that'll do.
It'd be really cool. I'm sure Dalsim could take me to really nice restaurants. I feel like he's pretty cool.
I guess.
I mean, yeah, of course he
If you
could.
guys don't have ketchup, be like, hey, can you have the ketchup on table 3? And it's like across the dining room.
Exactly.
You can grab it pretty easily.
But I mean, of the three, who would take you to like the coolest restaurants? Probably Dalsim. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
see-
Yeah, exactly.
Doc just eats like, he's a very
He
blue
tries to eat
collar.
More
like
of like a-
fries and burgers. all the
Fries
time.
and burgers.
Applebee's.
Yeah, Doc's a
And
little
Diddy-
heavy.
Diddy
I'm
just
not
wants
sure.
bananas.
And
Yeah.
Just all chain restaurants.
Yeah,
for the most
definitely
part.
Doc.
Oh,
Doc clearly
that guy.
has heart disease, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's who I would wed. Who I would bed, that's a really difficult one. I don't know.
Fuck a monkey.
Yeah, nobody's
Fuck
had
that.
sex with the monkey.
I just
yet.
don't know about the poop situation as a thing. And
He's
like,
an
you know,
intelligent being.
yeah, but even if he can go in the toilet, he's not going to know how to wipe.
You clean him up before you do it.
I'm not cleaning up someone and then having sex
Get him
with
a
them.
bidet.
Oh, you're above that?
You'll
Is that what you're
sex them
saying?
and
Oh,
then-
yeah, I am. I don't know how much sex you're having, but I usually don't wipe people up before having sex with them.
I mean, this is a special case.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be like, hey, let me wet wipe down there and then let's go to town.
You guys
Either
have
way,
a
I
nice sensual shower.
Either way, I
and
would
the
check
spider
before
monkey.
I did a monkey. I would just
Yeah.
check.
I mean, I
exactly
check
what
for
it is.
dingleberries, obviously,
Yeah.
but I mean, do I want to check for dingleberries? That's the
You
thing.
don't want it.
That's
but-
why you got to take that shower first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s. I just can't. I feel like because Doc is a good caretaker, I would bed Doc. I think that Doc would be really nice. Doc would be appreciative of it.
He'd spoon you afterwards.
Yeah.
He really would.
Yeah.
Spoon me. He has his own towel, so we can clean up easy.
Okay.
And he's very encouraging, right?
Oh,
yeah.
In between rounds of
Pat you on the
even
back
Yeah.
all the time.
love making, he would be like, "Get back in there."
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Probably count up to the orgasm, like 1, 2, 3.
There
It'd be
you go.
great. Yeah,
That's the
that's it.
referee's job.
I mean,
That's
hey,
it. Don't
but
confuse
Doc's
those two.
training me. Okay,
Yeah.
that's training me in a lot of things. And yeah, Diddy's got to go. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know where his ass has
I'm
been.
saving Diddy at least once.
Yeah,
I got to save Diddy in this one.
I'm
Good
proud of you.
choices by everyone.
You do
around.
I
that.
wonder what P. Diddy thinks about this situation, though.
We'll have him
Well-
on the
We'll
podcast
have to
next.
ask
If he
him.
has a video game,
We'll
we can
tweet
have
him.
on the
Let's
podcast.
see what
He changed his name again though. So I don't know.
What is it this time?
I don't remember.
Daryl? No. It's just a normal name, though. I don't know.
Dirk.
Dirk Combs.
He changed his name to Kanye West.
And with that, guys, thank you so much for joining
Thanks,
us.
everybody. Thank you,
Philip,
Philip.
thank you so much for being our 40th guest on the podcast.
Yeah,
today.
seriously.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And, check me out, Golden Griffin. this
Yeah,
week.
definitely.
Be nice to your horses.
Be nice to
Yes.
horses, guys.
See
Get
ya.
them, don't spay or neuter them. Let them roam free and just have a
Yeah.
good time.
And don't whistle at him
Yeah.
constantly.
That's
Yeah.
it.
See ya. Bye.
Good night. See ya. Today's amazing episode starred Christian Finnegan. He has 3 CDs on iTunes. You can check him out. Just search for Christian Finnegan. He's hilarious. Also, check out if you're in the story or if you're in the Queens area, check out him and his wife's what's it called? Performance space called QED in Astoria. It's QEDAstoria.com. Again, check out Christian Finnegan CDs on iTunes.